Okay, I'd like to thank everybody for coming today. It's a very exciting day for Aeromechanical Services. We've been working for 13 years getting a product that we believe is going to change how people manage aircraft, manage the maintenance of those aircraft, and in the worst case scenario, find the aircraft if there happens to be an incident. We've been working for nearly a year now with the government on the SADI program to put together the necessary paperwork and to come up with an application that's been accepted by Industry Canada to help develop the next generation of our technology. And I'd like to introduce the Honourable Rob Merrifield, Minister of State Transportation, to talk about that program. Rob?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Bill, thank you very much for that. It's great to be able to be here in Calgary making an announcement on this special day. Do you realize that today is the National Aviation Day in Canada? It's the second annual, so you wouldn't want to miss its birthday today. So I don't know how many people in the room knew that. But the flight at Baddock Bay and actually Cape Breton, I think it was the Silver Dart, was one of the first flights, the first flight in Canada. So we've come a long way since that time, and today's announcement will actually go a long ways to be able to move the aviation industry forward in Canada. I want to thank everyone for being here. This announcement is about a Calgary-based company that is recognized as an innovation leader, and that's not unique to what we could pull out of Calgary. A number of different corporations and organizations that are world stage renowned and are distinguished themselves as that. But today we're recognizing this industry in a city that isn't often recognized. You realize that in southern Alberta we don't talk an awful lot about the Canadian aerospace, but Canadian aerospace is exactly what we're here to talk about. 400 aerospace companies across Canada that generate $22 billion in sales, and 80% of those come from exports. I don't think the general public understand that very well. The Canadian aerospace industry is the fifth largest in the world, employing 80,000 people, mostly highly skilled and very high-paying jobs. The government's announcement today will turn the public's attention to the Alberta corner of this industry, right here in Calgary, where we are hosted today by the Aeromechanical Services Limited. Now, AMS is recognized as an international leader in aircraft monitoring using real-time satellite data transmission. And that is hundreds of planes around the world equipped with AMS equipment, the monitoring products that relay information from the data gathering, which is the black boxes, to the authorities on the ground. So I'm here on behalf of my colleague, Minister Tony Clement, who couldn't be here today, and I'm delighted to announce that through the Strategic Aerospace and Defence Initiative, the Government of Canada is making an investment of $1.96 million in repayable investment in this exciting R&D project right here at AMS. This project will see the company substantially upgrade its or data gathering and communication system. It will bolster the already significant role that AMS is having in the world's aviation community, and it'll have ripple effects right across this area of Alberta and right across the country. The projects that we are investing in today will create a high maintenance Canadian research jobs. They'll help keep this country on the forefront of the international aerospace industry. So Canada as a whole will benefit by having the base of technology firms and the subcontractors that are working together in this project. So it's companies actually coming together to partnership to make this happen. And it'll be a great expansion for the demand of the next generation monitoring technologies in North America and in Europe. So in 2007, Prime Minister Stephen Harper launched the Canadian Science and Technology Strategy, a practical, realistic plan to advance Canadian research and innovation, which in turn would strengthen our economy But today's investment is about building on that strategy. So the fund comes from the Strategic Aerospace and Defense Initiative, that's SADI, a program created by our government to support the industry and industry research in a pre-competitive development projects in aerospace and defense and space and security industry. So through investments in research and development, SADI contributes to technology in this next generation products. And it is great to be able to be here. Do you realize that SADI has invested in, I believe it's 21 projects across Canada so far. Today is 22. So that's great news. It's $783 million. It leverages the amount of added to that $1.7 billion investment in leadership in the aerospace industry. And that is very, very important that we see the SADI program be of such high value to the industry, and it is recognized as being so. The aerospace is among one of the largest contributors in Canadian research and development activities. R&D through the aerospace is actually $1 billion a year. This is no small amount of research, and that's why the Harper government has provided the right conditions for industry to continue this R&D excellence. Our government is proud of the cooperation of businesses through programs such as SADI to lead to higher productivity, economic prosperity, most importantly, more jobs. It also leads to a more competitive aerospace industry and a more competitive Canadian economy. The ultimate goal is that the people here in Calgary and in southern Alberta and across Canada and the country become interested in this project, particularly here on National Aviation Day, which is really all about promoting interest by our young people in the aviation industry so that we are here long into the future contributing to this industry and having this industry contribute to this great country. So with that, thank you very much, Bill. I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you very much for that. We wanted to just take 5 minutes and talk about the company, the product, the service that we offer, and what we see happening in the industry as products roll out and as communication capabilities around the globe with satellite expansion and so on get better and better. The first product that we built, if you notice here on the table, we've got a short fat box. That was our original AFIRS unit. It's been in production for 9 years now, been installed on aircraft around the globe. One of the interesting things is we had a write-up a year or so ago in the Iridium newsletter. It was called Polar Bears to Penguins. We have customers that fly to the North Pole and the South Pole with our technology on them. The first A320 to land in Antarctica had an AFIRS unit on it so the crew could communicate. Canadian North is one of our customers here in town, and they have been using the product for 6 or 7 years now to stay in touch with their crews in the far north. Changes in regulatory requirements, the increased air travel around the world, have created a need for certified solutions to help reduce the congestion in busy airports. And the research and development that we're doing right now, the certification we're working on right now, is the next generation box. The tall skinny box is our AFIRS 228, basically the same technology in it as the AFIRS 220, but a new level of certification and a new level of approvals, which is what the SADI grant's going to help us achieve. The functionality will be expanded, the I/O will be expanded in that box, but our capabilities that exist in the 220 today is going to be in the AFIRS 228 plus a bunch of other things. One of the things that we did in the last 12 months was actually 24 months, we rolled out a product called FLYHT. For years, we've been allowing our customers to download bulk data from the aircraft if they needed to look at maintenance on an aircraft. What we set up was a capability to stream data from an aircraft in real time in the event of an emergency. So everybody's heard about the black box, and the black box that got lost off reference 447. Our system has the capability to stream in real time the data from the aircraft and actually be able to display it on the ground, and we're going to show that in a couple of minutes. I'm going to have our Director of Advanced Technologies come up and demonstrate that. So AMS is the only company in the world today that has demonstrated the ability to transmit all of the black box data in real time, live from the aircraft to the ground, and we're going to show that to you today. I'd like to introduce Kent Jacobs. He's Director of Advanced Applications for AMS. He's also running the 228 program to get the certification and that product ready for the market. And Kent, if you could come up and demonstrate this, that would be wonderful.
As Bill mentioned, FlightStream is one of our products, and FlightStream is the ability to transmit FDR data from an aircraft in flight in real time. This is important not only for maintenance purposes, but if an aircraft is in distress, this information can be transmitted and the retrieval of the black box is not immediately necessary. In Air France 447, they still haven't received the black boxes yet, so we don't know what happened to that aircraft. This has led to a working relationship between AMS and L3. L3 is the largest manufacturer of black boxes in the world, and that is further leading to relationships and working experiences with the OEMs of the aircraft. What we have here is a demonstration of FDR data that was streamed off of an aircraft in flight a couple of days ago. And when the FDR data is streamed off the aircraft, it can be used by accident investigation boards or for maintenance purposes in the same way that the data retrieved from the black box would be used. So animations like this that show exactly what the flight crew would be seeing as they fly the aircraft can be generated in real time from the aircraft in flight. In addition to the animations of the aircraft, which give a display of the cockpit instruments, exactly what the flight crew would be viewing. You can graph the individual parameters that come off of the aircraft. So there are several hundred parameters streamed from an aircraft each second. This data gives the accident investigation boards the full ability to analyze what the flight crew was seeing, how they were performing, what led to possibly an accident or an incident. This is an example of a file that was generated of an aircraft in hold in China. And it actually continues on for an entire approach. We streamed the data from the aircraft from about 9,000 feet right the way down to the ground to where it landed. We do this periodically. We activate it from the ground so that we can confirm the system is operational and working properly various times. In addition to looking at the data like that, this is maybe not quite as exciting as an animation, but this gives an example of the volume of data that we actually stream off of the aircraft. As Bill mentioned, we're the only company that does this in real time. This is the full set of FDR data off of the aircraft. This goes on for pages and pages. This is the information transmitted that the accident investigation boards would actually need to review. We don't have an aircraft in flight right now. This is a file that we streamed the other day. But when we do this, pardon me. When we do stream the data from the aircraft, we generate these animations for our purposes.
The SADI funds are going to be used to create jobs and for a long time to create wealth in Canada. I'm very excited that our products are being used in China, in Africa, in South America. About 75% of our revenues today come from overseas, and it's really nice to have a stream of revenue coming this way. The addition of the certification on our new box and the ability to meet the requirements of governments around the world is just going to increase our capability to deliver these services globally. And we're very happy and proud that we've created a company in Canada that's generating products and services that are used around the world. And the funds from SADI are going to help us continue that and make sure that this is a very successful company in aerospace around the world. So thank you for coming today. Thank you for your interest. And if there's any questions, I'll be here and Kent will be here. If there's anything we can add, be happy to do so. Thanks very much.